Hey, how's it going, everybody? Before I show you guys this really cool typewriter that I found at Goodwill, anyways, I will have some links in the description here for you guys that are researching one like this or whatever. Is found a couple that are just talking about it. One of them's giving the information on the company that made it and what other stuff they made and whatnot. Otherwise, it appears this one is either rare are definitely scarce because this is the one that's been modified for Czechoslovakia on the keys. Otherwise, I do have a link to print out an owner's manual in PDF, but it's for the Continental, which basically this is based off of. So as far as I'm concerned, it's like a Continental that's just been modified for Czechoslovakia. Otherwise, German-made typewriter, built really good, and let's say I'm 1 year closer to get off my lawn is a birthday present to myself. And according to Goodwill on Get Off My Lawn, I'm already there. So I got my senior discount. This stuff is powerful when it comes to discounts. So got this thing for under 20 bucks, man. Just mind-blowing find, man. That store's freaking crazy. That's all I can. They're freaking crazy, man. Crappy stuff they will have high prices on. Stuff like this that's obviously valuable. It's like they have no clue when it comes to anything that's an antique. Everything that's been an antique that I have found there, I've always gotten for cheap. It's like they don't even bother to look it up. But stupid crap, they'll look that up and then they want the eBay price. So, typical Goodwill. Otherwise, came in its case, which is also pretty unbelievable. And the case is in good shape, other than just one end that I'm in the process of doing a repair. I'll show you guys what I've started. Hopefully the camera here will pick it up. The glue is still drying, so I got to be careful on handling it. So I'm just going to show you guys the lid of the case. Otherwise, it's one where it's just got a square piece of wood that the typewriter sits on, and then the top of the case sits on that and locks in place. Anyways, it's the top piece on one of the corners that I'm working on to where this had to have happened a long freaking time ago. Is the wood underneath the vinyl literally turned black from just rot, but not horrible rot. So, used an old technique that I think one of my teachers came up with it when I was in high school on making your own wood filler, on filling in cracks to where it's still sandable, where it's just using cotton and glue. And so far, I'm getting the shape. I've got the shape of it. Once it dries, then I'll just add on a thin layer of glue to get it all nice and smoothed out. Right now it's a little rough, but from a distance, with no light hitting it whatsoever, I can't tell which corner is the bad one now. It's working for me, so this might help some of you out that's trying to repair wood damage. And yeah, I'm using cotton, but it's one of those things, once the glue dries up completely, it will make it to where it's hard enough, but also somewhat sandable or whatever to shape it. And you can shape it as it's drying. Once it gets to where it's dry to the touch, hence cotton, you can kind of just use your fingers and push on it to get the rough shape, which is what I've done. I said, so far so good, man. It's starting to come out looking pretty decent. I just got to get it looking nice to where it smooths out with the actual sides of the box top. Otherwise, the printout for the book is in PDF. It's free. I'm a cheap-ass bastard, so when it comes to PDFs on instruction manuals, if you can't find your manual on a site that doesn't want money, just keep searching, man. You may end up searching a lot, but there's always seems to be one site out there that will let you download it for free. If they want to charge you for a stupid PDF manual, nah, keep searching. I just used Google for that. So anyways, I'll show you guys the top of the case here. And right off the bat, other than that one spot on the case, which I'm thinking is from water damage, or just had a drip hitting in the same spot for a while. Maybe it was sitting on a shelf in a shed, garage, whatever. Or just one little drip, because I did have a drip area going down the top of it, which that I just blackened it out with a Sharpie, and that worked. Just to see how I could do with a Sharpie. There are a few little areas that I might just kind of fill in with glue, and then what I'm going to do is just get some black shoe polish and possibly go over the whole top piece. The bottom piece is only showing on the bottom where there's just a split in the vinyl type stuff. Otherwise, the handle on this is vinyl. It almost looks like whoever owned this might have had the handle here replaced on the strap, because it's too freaking nice. Like it's been replaced sometime in the past. I'm pretty sure, being this thing is either from 1936 or 1937, that it probably would have had some kind of a leather strap. And stuff dries out. There's a lot of the ones that I was finding in the case, hence one of the links that I'll give you guys for one that's sold for a lot more than what I paid. There's no freaking handle on it, but it's all set to have one put on. And on the metal parts, I've just been going over it with some steel wool, and all the tarnish is coming off. There's really no really bad rust other than the pins that hold everything together and stuff. Could use a little bit of dremeling to get them shined up. But I like the old look. I don't want to make it look brand freaking new, man. I want it to stay the vintage look, but nice enough. So here's the top. Right off the bat there, yes, let's do the back of it on top. There. Gotta have the light hitting it. That's what I'm doing. Is just bulking it up. Is have the drip going straight down there. Is that little foot. Well, that little foot, you can see is got light rust on it, which I could just attack it with a Dremel, but this whole corner here was just gone, basically just down to wood where it was all splintered up and stuff. So I just broke off all the fine splinters, got it down as much as I could without hurting it. And then what I do with the cotton, I'm just using plain old freaking Elmer's glue, and just dip the cotton in the Elmer's glue to get it all nasty like a big frickin' booger, and just jammed it in all the little open space inside there to thicken it up, and then just gradually layered it on piece after piece to get the shape. Which on the shape, I'm pretty much there to where I'm down to where just once this dries, just put another layer of glue on top so I can get it nice and smooth and level with everything. But pretty much looking at it under the light here, I think I've got it. It pretty much matches up with the other corner as they rounded off the tips. And not hard to do, man. Just say basically just get it wet with glue and lay it on there and just gradually layer it on. And don't recommend doing it all at once. Get it started. If it's a bad spot, let it dry overnight, because you can always add on a little bit more afterwards, because it will shrink up some. But even right now, just touching it solid enough, because it'll fill in the cotton there, so it's like almost like adding sawdust to the glue, which I was going to do that, but no, sawdust. That's another way you can make like a putty to fill in cracks and whatnot. Otherwise, there's the book that I printed out. And you can see there's a couple clippies inside to hold that. And then down to that area, right above the lock mechanism, where I'm pointing with my thumb. Originally, I guess, came with a couple of tools, plus it had a key that came with it so you can lock the case, which the key's always missing. If you find the key, consider yourself insane lucky. But on the tools, I think it was a brush, and then the other tool looks like a really long key. The only thing I can think that it might be for is adjusting the ribbon or setting the ribbon or something. It's weird looking. I think the one that I found that's sold or whatever, it was on Etsy. I don't know if they say what it is or not, but I think they show the tools with it. Otherwise, it might be another site that I found. Found plenty of sites showing this off, like typewriter sites that specialize in just showing off vintage typewriters, stuff like that. But to find one for sale, that it's sold or whatever, or just for sale, man, not easy. And did find it on a few German, Czechoslovakian sites or whatever, but those I didn't save because a couple of them, it gave good information, but had all the stupid pop-ups and crap, and I didn't want to deal with it, and I didn't figure you guys would either, so. I believe you can look up the company that made this on Wikipedia and get all the information on it. They made all kinds of stuff, man, on this German company, from motorcycles to cars, whatever, man. They made all kinds of stuff. Otherwise, let's see. It's looking a lot better on the lock. I still got to work on these some. Basically, it was just like a tarnish on it. It wasn't rust, just tarnish. There's only one little black spot there on the bottom. I don't know what it is, but I should be able to take it off some. Oh, I see what it is. Some of the chrome came off, so it looks like it was. Yeah. Could be this is all chrome plated, nickel plated or whatever. Otherwise, not bad at all. Really odd mechanism. You flip this up, which has a lock to the inside for something. Flip that out, and then that just slides to unlock it from a little post on the tray that the typewriter sits on. And then also, show there. See, there's little feet inside of it. Still has the rubber on them, but it's hardened up, but it's not disintegrating or anything like I've seen on a lot of them. Nothing's ready to fall apart. And they're literally like frozen to the shape of the typewriter, so where everything stays in place really nice once I put this on. Let's set this on the bad corner. Now for the beauteous part. Other than one thing that's not on this, it's the little metal part or whatever that snaps on to keep your paper up straight. I didn't get that with this, but it looks like it'd be something easy to fabricate using probably use a clothes hanger and fabricate one. And then it just snaps on in the back here. Otherwise, this thing is in beautiful condition. The keys damn near look new. I mean, whoever had this was a prize piece. I could tell, man, it was well taken care of. It's crazy to find it at a Goodwill. Hold it two things like this. It's little, but it's freaking heavy. A lot of metal. Heavy metal. See what I mean on the keys? It's beautiful shape. There, on the one I'm pointing out with my pinky there. That's one of them that works in Czech. It's basically the one to lift this up and down. Where the large one says Premikak, and then the one above it, I think it's Ustalo Vac, which just locks it in place. Then the other side, same thing, Premicat or whatever, to just if you want to raise it up and down. And then what's it, ZPET, which is to advance it in one direction. And then I think the ribbon cartridges on there, they look like they're original. They're all metal, not plastic. And I was still able to type on this thing, so the ribbon still is somewhat good. Not perfect, but enough to where I could type with it some. Otherwise, adjustments on the back there to where the center thing has something to do with the bell. I don't know exactly how it functions. Otherwise, these slide back and forth for adjusting the width of your paper. There goes the bell. So yeah, it does have effect on the bell there. Otherwise, keep them centered so this thing doesn't go back and forth too much when it's in storage. Try and take it off of this so I can show it easier. The way they did it is the little feet on the bottom here each have a post that fits up into the feet on the typewriter to kind of just hold it steady, and then you got your little clips to the front and back that hold it in place. And felt looks to be original. Not in bad shape at all, just needs to be cleaned lightly with a brush. Okay, maybe that's what that is, now that I think of it. Yeah. That little post there is for the spring-loaded locking mechanism. Then I think once you flip that lever down, it must go into there to totally lock this in place. Otherwise, like I say, man, a lot of these came with a key. I don't have one. There was one lady who I was watching some of her YouTube videos where she said you make keys to where she says she's made them before, so it must be a fairly simplistic key. Otherwise, really cool. On the bottom there, the only real damage is just going from here to there. No big deal. Pretty much just like a starting crack or whatever in the vinyl, but not in the wood. The wood is nice and solid. Very cool, man. Also, this is my first typewriter. I've never owned one. So to have this for my first typewriter, really freaking cool, as this stays in my collection. No, it is not for sale. It stays in my collection, man. I doubt if I will ever find another one like this in this condition. They're so freaking cheap. It's just right place at the right time. Underneath here, some of the springs are tarnished, but not rusted outright. They all still work, so pretty much all I got to do on this. Try and show you guys better here. Let's just go over it with some WD-40 to get those keys to where they work a little better. Man, just freaking beautiful. Just beautiful. That's where I got it to where it's adjusted so it only does so much. This. Okay, now I can do it. Hard to hold on to it, man, because it's like, God, There's no place to hold on to where there's not something mechanical. Tons of mechanical stuff on this. I say it's a little sticky there, but I can fix that. So it's just the way I'm holding it. The ribbon seems to be a little sticky too. A lot of it's just oiled. It needs to be oiled or whatever. So who knows how long this thing was sitting in the case. All I can think of, typical thing, somebody passed away that had this and whoever brought it in didn't give a crap or whatever. Stuff like this, I just don't understand why people just bring it into Goodwill. Like, can't they see that it's valuable? Hence, the one that I saw that sold on ST was either $325 or about $350. About the same condition. It's under $20, man. It's where when you can catch Goodwill slipping, that's freaking awesome. On what this one says is the one that I found that sold. Same type, just the wording's a little different on where they have it. This one on top here, it says Wanderer akc.spol, SPOL, and that's written across large capital letters, WAG, W-A-G, and then these areas on each side. One side shows their logo, just like a W logo, and then below that just says Wanderer, and then the other side just says WAG 340. Front here has the logo. This one on the back plate, that's all painted gloss black, doesn't say anything, which the other one does. Read it here. Let's see. Give you guys the serial number on this one. Looks like R142528. And I don't see anything else written on it. Yeah, just looking at where the little arms attach for typing or whatever, it just needs a good spray of WD-40. There's like maybe a couple little spots where it's just not even rust, more like tarnish. But I think that's it. It just needs to be greased up to get it working smoother. As like I say, man, whoever had this took really good care of it. So, say, man, I'll include some information in the link. Anything else I find, I will add it to the link, as I'm still researching some on it. And pretty much, when it comes to finding one for sale in this kind of condition, good usable condition, good luck. I found others, but they're not in good condition. There's one that I found, I think it's still sold for like $125, possibly also on SD, but just the typewriter, no case, and it's not beautiful. I don't even know if it's functional. It's definitely one that needs a bit of restoration. As the paint's coming off, and definitely showed some signs of rust here and there to where it's needing help. Where this, I can't spot anything on it that's broken. So it's still usable, it just needs to be cleaned. Now I was hoping that maybe they might have had others, as I got this a couple days ago. So I went back yesterday, nothing. because they have been occasionally bringing out typewriters, but not as old as this. Like maybe they got in a collection that somebody donated, and they're just bringing out a couple or so times. So I'll keep hitting them up. Who knows, man? I might find another one. You never know with Goodwill. It's kind of like my school desk, man. Same situation. They had no freaking clue on the value of it. And I think with that, if I remember right, as I got it a while back, I think with my 20% off discount or whatever, it was like $45 for a vintage little kid's school desk from like 1912, man. Or possibly older. I don't know. I can't remember the date. It's old, man. It's one of those ones where they were doing a turnover on the type to where the originals were bolted to the floor. So this guy came up with the first movable desk to where the teachers and students could pick up the desk. Well, teachers, because it's freaking heavy, still could pick it up and move it. And because telemarketers, and no, I do not want to buy car insurance or an extended warranty from a place very far away to help you. Every freaking day, man. Every freaking day, man. Damn telemarketers. Otherwise, any information you guys can give me for people that collect these, I'd love to have it. I'd really like to try and find a place where I could download the original book in PDF. I don't care if it's in Czech or German or what, man. It would be nice to have the original book to download that came with it. Otherwise, the one that I found, it's in English, so it explains enough on the functionality where if you guys are trying to find something, it's better than nothing. And the site I found it on has books for all types of others. It's just for this specific brand, I believe, that's the only one they had, was for the Continental. Otherwise, I say, man, good enough. Have a good one, everybody.